Welcome back to my channel. So tonight I want to discuss Nick Fuentes and Bilzerian beefing online. And what I think this really is important, what I think is really important about this is that Donald Trump will be out of office in a couple years, and what happens after that? Where do things go? Will it really be Gavin Newsom? Will it be AOC? You know, will the Republicans even stand a chance? But the fact that Dan Bilzerian and so basically Dan Bilzerian said that with the way Nick flip-flops and says now he wants to be a Democrat, that I think he's a Fed. That's what Dan Bilzerian said. And then Nick Fuentes replied back on his show, and he said that Dan will call him for 2 hours and just say that the head of the communists are these guys. And Nick will say, yeah, I know. Now, I find it a little weird, I'm not going to lie, that he's divulging information that they have in private conversations. I find that a little weird, right? Then I also think people find it weird when Nick Fuentes says he wants to be a Democrat, because he believes in his power and in his sway, that he thinks that he can turn an election. And he doesn't think that the Republicans deserve to win again, and that the whole, oh, we can't lose now and all this sort of stuff, I don't think he believes in that. And then you have Dan Bilzerian also running for a spot in Florida as a congressman. And what you have to understand is that the voting thing, the whole we're going to vote our way out of this, a lot of that, because of how many lies have been performed right into people when people say they want to be anti-war and start more wars. I think because of that, people are not really wanting to really hop back into getting into politics. I think politics is I think it's kind of stupid. It's majority rules, mob mentality in a way. And if it works, great. If people like it, that's fine. That's fine. But what happens afterwards? And do you just keep voting? And I think Nick is more focused on punishing people. And now Dan Bilzerian says he wants to get into politics, and that is super sketchy about getting into politics. Now, do I want him to win or not? That's irrelevant. It's just getting in that world is just a very greasy, very blackmail-y type of endeavor, type of affair. So it's weird, because the argument could be made that it's Fed versus Fed, or real dissident versus real dissident, depending on your outlook. Okay, there's a lot of fishiness on both sides, but it doesn't matter either way, because in the grand scheme of things, what does voting really do? Thank you for watching. Please leave a like and subscribe.